Hi, welcome back to the Gridiron Coffee Company podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to using the stories from the gridiron to inspire, motivate, or just to entertain. I hope you enjoyed the first couple episodes that I've released with Brad Johnson and Mark Fabish. They did awesome. I mean, those couple episodes are just turned out really well. Very pleased with them. Gotten a lot of good feedback. So this one, I think you will enjoy. I think you will really enjoy it. It's with Ryan Michler. Ryan Michler has been kind of a mentor from afar, I would say. I've listened to his podcast, Order a Man, for at least since like 2016. So he's been a big part of my personal journey in a lot of ways. But I was pretty stoked when he agreed that he would do an IG Live with me. And he's always been a big proponent of coaching like volunteer coaching or whatever it is, because that's kind of a way of giving back. And it's also a way of stepping in a role as a man and kind of passing on things that will make a good grown adult male, however you want to say that. But coaching is a generational impact is the way I like to look at it. Personally, that's my profession. I mean, this game of football actually led me to become a PE teacher / coach. I wanted to do something for kids that my coaches did for me when I was playing. It's just a little more than learning how to pull as a guard and kick the end out. I mean, there is a lot of discipline in the game of football, and it's the ultimate team sport. So I asked Ryan to do an IG Live to talk about the importance of coaching and being a positive male role model. Anyways, this is a great episode, so you don't want to miss it. Visit my website, gridironcoffeecompany.com. I have limited edition tumblers on there right now. They're not going to last long, and I may have to get some more if they do well. So go check those out, and you can get a coffee cup or mug. I don't know what you want to call it. There's stainless steel tumblers and a bag of coffee. So check that out. Use Game Day 10, save 10%. Enjoy today's episode. Thank you for watching. I've gotten a lot of good feedback so far, so we're going to keep on this thing. I got several more podcasts to upload with awesome guests. I'm really pumped about this thing, how it's turning out. All right. Check out the episode. All right. Thank you.
All right, we are live. This is Brad with Gridiron Coffee, and we got a special guest today. It is... Hey, what's up? All right, I'm so pumped about this. Okay. All right, we're going to have Ryan Michler on from Order a Man. This is like my favorite podcast ever. I mean, I listen to this thing all the time. I have gone through so many podcasts, but Order a Man is the one that I always go to when I need to hear some great advice and I need to better myself. So I invited Ryan on to come on today and share some thoughts on the importance of coaching. I am a coach by trade. I'm a PE teacher. Hey, what's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you? We made it work.
Hey, man, I've been following you for so long. This is just really awesome.
Been looking forward.
Almost since the beginning when you started Order a Man. I kind of started going through maybe some sort of transition in myself. I'm a football coach by trade. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a PE teacher. I'm actually on my lunch break now. And I guess about when I was 35, I'm 38 now, I got a picture, like it was like a headshot of like our team pictures, and we did like the pictures for the program. And I saw myself and I was just like, I mean, in my mind, I was out of shape, and I was in shape. But when I saw that picture, I was just like, I've got to do something. This is not me. And I took a hiatus from coaching football, and ran a couple marathons, and really just got my butt in gear. And now I'm back at it. And this summer, you actually play a small part in this, maybe bigger than I thought. But I had this idea this summer to just build something huge, thinking of coaching coaches and football in mind. And I want to build a community through coffee, and kind of build a community around football, and really just to improve the people's lives and things like that. So
Yeah, cool.
one of my favorite episodes that you did was when you talked to your high school coach. I think that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
That was one that I really connected with, and just I know that you always preach how, an easy way to give back to the community is to coach a youth team.
For sure.
And so I really wanted to hear your insight on coaching youth, and how, it's pretty easy. You can just go down to any local community center and just sign up to coach. You don't have to necessarily be a father of anybody, but it's really just a way to give back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to give back. It's a way to help the young men who obviously need help. We live in these really interesting times, and the rise of fatherless homes is going to be a continual problem. And so, as I've coached my own boys, and then of course their teammates over the past 8 years or so, I've realized with a lot of these young men, I might be the only stable father figure in their life. And so you're right. It's very easy to go down to the community center. In fact, they'd be so grateful to have you coach, because they're lacking men being willing and able to step up and coach these kids. A lot of guys will say, I don't have any experience as a coach, or I get all that. I understand that. But at the level you're going to be teaching, enough. If you played high school ball or college ball, enough, and you'll learn as you go. Besides, it's about the game itself, but it's also about life lessons, and you have plenty of life lessons that you can teach with the metaphor of hitting a baseball or catching a football or whatever it may be.
Oh, you got YouTube now. I mean, you can pretty much become an expert on anything, right?
Yeah, the resources are anybody who says, I don't know enough, or I don't have the resources, I don't have the information. As mildly as I can put it, is just a little delusional and trying to fool themselves into getting out of the work they know they should be doing.
Well, I know for me personally, like the reason I became a coach was because the coaches in my own life. I think coaching just has a generational impact on kids to become something better. They want, when I coach football, I emulate some of the things my coaches did, and it's really you're kind of passing on through. It's like before technology, you passed on through storytelling. And if you think about coaching, and when you're coaching sports and the things you're teaching, it's kind of like passing information on through storytelling, which I think is very valuable when you're getting it from a source that, like a coach, and especially these kids that don't have fathers. I know, like, especially school I used to coach at. I mean, it was every day. I was taking kids home. I mean, it wasn't like their parents were coming to get them. I would have to take kids home, and sometimes there would be 4 or 5 cars sitting in the yard. But those kids need somebody, and it's just kind of part of the territory.
It's also for even children who do have strong father figures and parents at home. I mean, I've had my boys be coached by other coaches and played on other teams, and it's good for them too to learn from other men and to not have the same dynamic that there would be if I was there as their coach and their father. I've learned to even step back and let other people coach and let them do their thing, and that's good for my children as well. So I mean, coaching is good all the way around.
What would you say? What would you say the biggest impact your coaches maybe had on you?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many lessons, and it's so interesting because I played so much sports when I was growing up that it's almost hard to just extrapolate one lesson that I learned that was my greatest. I always catch myself saying little things that my coaches used to say, whether it's in my podcast or even to my kids. I was on our Iron Council call, which is our brotherhood that we have. earlier this morning, and I think I thought or I said something like, you're only as good as your last at bat, which is something that my coach used to tell me all the time. You're only as good as your last at bat. So yeah, but I think the underlying root of what I learned is to make commitments, to sacrifice yourself for the team, and to put the mission first. And that was always important. Is I'm here to serve the team. I'm here to play as good as I can. I'm here to step up. I'm here to train and do what I can do to help the betterment of the team. So that one single lesson, shared over years and years of playing competitive sports, really translated perfectly over into the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, I just want to say I love what you do. The impact that you're having is monumental. I mean, I'm telling you, I would not be having this conversation with you if it wasn't starting to listen to your podcast, long before years ago. I mean, it was just you're just doing a great job. And when you came to Maine, I was like, oh my God! One of my best summers, I worked at a sports camp in Maine. Do you know where Casco, Maine is? Have you heard of that?
I don't, right offhand.
It's a small little town. It's near Portland.
Okay. Yep.
How far away are you from Portland?
I'm about an hour and a half north of Portland.
Okay. But Portland, that was a cool place. But I absolutely love it. That was one of the best summers of my life, was spending it in Maine. The summer was just, it was actually kind of a hot summer for Maine, but it was still, I'm in Georgia right now, so it was still a lot better than down here.
Yeah.
But one thing I got to do, we got to hike up the presidentials when I was up there, like Mount Washington and all that. And
Right.
We got to go to Montreal, and I think the beach I went to was Ogunquit Beach.
Okay. Yep.
And we got to go to the owner of the Mets. His son went to this camp. I think his name was Will Pond or something like that. And so me and some other guys that were from Georgia got to redo all the baseball fields at this camp. They were like, oh, y'all are from Georgia. Y'all know how to do landscaping. I don't know. I guess we're stereotyped or something. But we did all the baseball fields at this camp and redid them. And then, so the owner of the Mets gave us tickets to see the Red Sox play the Mets.
Right.
And it was a great experience.
Yeah,
So, well, I want to respect your time, Ryan. And, I just want to thank you personally for the impact you've had on me. And
that means a lot.
I'm listening for these. One day I'm gonna come up there and do one of your events. And
Good. I've heard a couple of people talk or seen in the chat. A couple of people are like talking about Maine winters. Like this one right here is good. The Maine winters. If you can't handle the Maine winters, you don't deserve the Maine summers. So we try to do our events where it's relatively mild weather, but I am going to do a winter event here fairly soon because it would be cool.
Yeah, I know you had Chad Wright on. I'm actually going to the Proving Grounds thing he does in January, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be in your area, Atlanta. I don't know exactly where you are, but Atlanta.
I'm Macon. It's an hour south.
Yeah, I'm going to be out there on Monday or Tuesday of next week. So
okay.
Yeah.
I have football practice, so I can't miss that. But
I'll see. I'm going to try to do a meetup. I'm actually here in Houston right now, doing some recording, and we're going to do a meetup tonight. So I'm going to try to do more meetups when I travel, and just like pick a night and just find a place to go and hang out. Whether we have 2 people or 20 people, or 200 people, just all get together and connect and meet up, because I think the face-to-face interaction is crucial.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you definitely got a following, so
yeah, I think
that's a great idea.
That's the cool thing, is wherever I go, I can typically find, a handful of guys that are familiar with what we do at least and want to connect. And everybody I've ever met has been just a great person. And so it's pretty cool to be able to have friends wherever you go. That's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to respect your time, Ryan. I really appreciate you doing this for me. And I'll hear you on the next podcast.
Sounds good. Opportunity.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I'll see you.
Later.